up to the umpires here in the final season series here in the last series of the regular season for the Red Sox and the Indians here. So they're pretty much in charge of everything here as far as whether or not we would play tonight. And the forecast was not great for the night, and right now it is okay to certainly play. And here come the Cleveland Indians onto the field. Let's check out the visiting Red Sox lineup. It is brought to you by your Eastern Hyundai dealers. Mookie Betts in right field, leading it off with Josh Rutledge at second base. Xander Bogaerts, a shortstop, bats third with Travis Shaw at first base. Rusney Castillo in left field with Brock Holt, the DH, batting sixth. Devin Marrero in third base, batting seventh with Sandy Leon doing the catching. Jackie Bradley Jr. in center field, bats ninth. Indians starting pitcher presented by New England Nissan dealers. Corey Kluber on the mound, his 32nd start of the year, 8-16, but a pretty good ERA, 3.62 coming in 214 innings. He's got 236 strikeouts. Opponents hitting at 234 against Kluber. Last time out, he did take the loss though against the Minnesota Twins, going 6 innings, giving up 4 runs and striking out 6 along the way.
The Indians defense is brought to you by DraftKings. They are second in the league with 79 errors on the season. Giovanni Urshela will be at third base. Francisco Lindor, the shortstop. Jason Kipnis at second, and Carlos Santana, the first baseman. Left to right, Mike Aviles, Abraham Almonte, and Jerry Sands. And Yan Gomes doing the catching for Kluber.
Well, the umpiring crew tonight, David Rackley has the play calling the balls and strikes with Bob Davidson at first base, Hunter Wintelstead at second, and Marvin Hudson is the umpire at third. Where available, this telecast can be heard in Spanish by selecting the SAP button on your television remote. Enjoy the game.
Buenas noches, amigos.
Well, the weather conditions right now as we get this game started tonight, late 50 degrees. Breeze in from right at 11 miles per hour, and the chance of more rain throughout the night, probably playing through the rain, as they did have a pretty good shower come through here at 7 o'clock as they anticipated, and it has come and gone for now, but still on the chilly side, as last night was pretty cold, so is tonight.
Yeah, nasty day here in Cleveland all day long. Cloudy, drizzly, rainy, and I'm quite surprised we're able to get this game in tonight.
Well, Mookie Betts ready to lead it off, hitting at .295 with 18 homers and 77 runs batted in. And on the grass at third is Urshela, the third baseman. And now ducking back about even with the bag there at third as Betts climbs in to get it started. And the first pitch of the ball game is in there for strike one, and we're underway. Well, one more hit. Betts. Sox can become the 4th team since 1901 with 2 players age 22 or under with 175 hits. Joining Xander Bogaerts. 0-1 pitch. And of course, it was from Alex Spear, the Boston Globe, who was kind enough to join us as part of our rain delay fill here tonight. As did you briefly. You made a cameo appearance, I noticed.
Well, you guys are so good, I had to get near the interview.
1-1 pitch is going to miss outside, and it's 2-1 to Betts. Well, the Indians against non-division opponents are 47-37 with their victory last night against the Red Sox. That straightens up Betts. I kind of wonder what you were doing. I mean, I could sort of see you out of the corner of my eye, but I couldn't believe it. Neither could you. You were stunned by a lot that Alex had to say. Look at that. 3-1 pitch.
It's late in the season.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
You're really bored during the rain delay, apparently. Late change, Dustin Pedroia coming out of the lineup largely because of the conditions here tonight, and they're trying to make sure he doesn't re-injure that hamstring. So a straight switch for the number 2 spot in the order, and at second base with Pedroia on the bench tonight, and now in the lineup for the Red Sox is Josh Rutledge.
Now, the guy the Red Sox are facing tonight, Kluber, he last year was a Cy Young Award winner in the American League. Certainly not those kind of numbers this season, especially wins and losses, but a very good pitcher.
30-minute delay, the official word. Of course, this was a 7-10 start, so that is going to be ball 4. The Red Sox have the lead runner on. Mookie Betts via the walk starts this ball game. The ranks for him: 214 innings, fourth in the league in that category. 4 complete games, tied for first, and third in strikeouts. Those 236. However, most losses with 16, and largely because of the lack of run support that he's received.
And he was not upset with that. Very upset with that last call. He thought he had a strike on Mookie Betts.
So leadoff walk to Betts, and here is Josh Rutledge. And the start tonight at second base. He's been coming off the bench quite a bit for the Red Sox late in games. And he'll take strike one right down the middle at 92. Rutledge driving in the final run of Tuesday's win for the Red Sox at New York. He slings it over to first base, and Betts back to the bag.
The Clippers faced the Red Sox one time this season, lasted 6 innings in that game, giving up 6 earned runs, but he did have 9 strikeouts against the Red Sox.
Foul off to the right out of play, and it's 0-2. Rutledge originally selected by Colorado in the 3rd round of the 2010 draft. He's now appeared in 304 major league games in his career. .262 hitter in the majors. Third base, shortstop, second base primarily, and tonight getting the start at second base for Boston. Who's coming over in the Shane Victorino deal with the Angels. Another throw over, and Betts dives back to the bag safely.
Betts with 20 steals on the season, as you can see, has been caught 6 times. 77%.
Good size lead at first for Betts again, as always. Held on by Santana. Widens it a tad even more now. In the dirt, blocked by Gomes. No advance for Betts at first base. Career against the Red Sox in 5 games, 0-2 with a 6.28 earned run average. So not a lot of success against Boston. And Jerry gave you the numbers of his outing earlier this year at Fenway Park. Both teams talking about the conditions last night that were played in. Certainly very difficult. One better for the Indians than the Red Sox. Throw to first base, and Betts diving back after a big secondary lead.
Yan Gomes showing off that throwing from his knees to first base. The big secondary lead, and back in time though is Mookie Betts. As that sliding into the outfield side of the bag, make that tag a little bit longer.
Center fielder Abraham Almonte into right center. A lot of green grass out in the left center. 2-2 pitch. There goes Betts. The pitch is a swing and a miss, and the throw is going to be not in time. Stolen base for Mookie Betts.
I believe the second baseman Kipnis dropped the baseball. There's the swing and miss. The throw by Gomes tails back into Betts, and I don't think Kipnis held on to the baseball. It looked like he dropped it. Head for a slide. The tag was there, but the ball was not in the glove.
Ended up underneath Mookie. So Gomes thought he had him. They do strike out Rutledge for the first out here in the first inning, and Betts now in scoring position for Xander Bogaerts. Bogaerts 1 for 3 in the ball game last night. Turned 23 on Thursday when the Red Sox had their final game against the Yankees in New York. And Xander takes strike one. 322 for Xander Bogaerts, ranked 2nd in the American League, 4th in the majors in average. 7 home runs, 81 runs driven in. On a line, and caught on the backhand by Lindor. He took a look towards second, but Kipnis couldn't get there quick enough, and Bogarts retired on a hot shot and a line out to the shortstop. 2 down.
That's the kind of luck you don't need when you're trying to get 200 hits. I mean, he hit a ball right on the button, but right at the shortstop. Francisco Lindor, he was looking to double up Betts, but Mookie got back in time. So no luck there for Xander. Hit the ball very hard. Good solid contact, but to the line out.
So two-way runner at second brings up Travis Shaw. 275 with 13 homers and 36 runs batted in for Shaw. They have him pulled over on the right side on the infield, but not complete shift here for the Indians, although right around second is Lindor. And a fly ball to shallow center field. Almonte is there, and he puts it away to end the first inning. The Indians are coming up from Cleveland. Back in Cleveland, the Red Sox don't score in the top of the first inning. Indians coming up in the bottom of the first. The Indians lineup is brought to you by New England Chevy dealers. Francisco Lindor, shortstop, leads it off with Mike Aviles in left field. Jason Kipnis at second base. Ryan Rayburn is the DH with Carlos Santana at first. Yan Gomes does the catching. Giovanni Urshela is at third base. And it is Abraham Almonte in center with Jerry Sands in right field. First pitch from Craig Breslow is in there for strike one. Red Sox starting pitcher presented by your local New England Audi dealers. Breslow making his 45th appearance of the year, second start, 0-3 with a 4.22 earned run average. Here's a pop-up in foul ground that has Sandy Leon headed over towards the dugout, and he's got a play. First out here at the bottom of the first inning.
The Red Sox defense is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, 11th in the league, 96 errors on the season. Devin Marrero at third base, Xander Bogarts the shortstop, Josh Rutledge at second, and Travis Shaw the first baseman. Left to right, Rusney Castillo, Jackie Bradley Jr., and Mookie Betts, and Sandy Leon, who just made that catch, doing the catching.
So one down here in the first inning brings up Mike Aviles. And starting in left field for the second straight night. As the pitch misses a little bit high for ball one. 233 average for Aviles, 5 homers and 17 runs batted in. Fouls it off down the right field line, out of play. And the arsenal for normally the reliever, Craig Breslow, 54% of the time fastballs, 23% breaking balls, and 23% changeups for Breslow.
A lot of changeups for Breslow, and he obviously tries to keep him away from those right-handers and down and into left-handers.
On the ground, foul just outside the bag at third. Of course, for Breslow in his first start last week, ended up going 4 innings, 4 shutout innings. Only giving up 2 hits. He walked 2, struck out 2. Was a career high 4 innings pitched in his first major league start after 422 relief appearances. Fouled off to the right, out of play.
That's the changeup right there, well out of the strike zone, but chased by Aviles and fouled off. Changeup stays high, it's away, but Aviles backside was not into it, but he still gets his hands across the plate to foul it off.
Fouled straight back, and he'll see his 7th pitch in the at bat. Two pitch, and that is outside. Full count down to Aviles. Aviles, 34 years of age. Was with Boston in 2011 and 2012. This marks his 3rd year now as a member of the Cleveland Indians. And a pop-up foul off to the right, out of play. Still 3-2. .266 in 809 career games in the big leagues. 58 home runs for Mike Aviles. And a pop-up foul off to the right again.
Last time the Red Sox had a bullpen game that was started by Breslow, they won it 8-0 against the Baltimore Orioles. So a great job done by Breslow and everybody out of the bullpen in that particular game. Would like to have the same success here tonight.
Well, one of the things Breslow did to get 4 innings was keep the pitch count really intact. And here, this will be the 10th pitch of this at bat for Aviles. He ends up striking him out. So first strikeout for Breslow, 2 down in the inning.
That's the fastball from Breslow, top of the strike zone and a little bit away from Aviles. And he can't stay off it. Funny, Sandy Leone is the only Red Sox catcher that starts that throw around the infield by going to first base. All the others start at third, then go to the second, short, first.
Sandy likes to go that way.
He goes to first. Yeah.
Meek Insurance, great service, great coverage, and a great price for auto, home, or life insurance.
I didn't know you had that read done.
I did, and it took me a really long time to get to it because you kept talking.
I kept talking. I was going to keep going, too.
2 down here in the first for Jason Kipnis. 302, 9 homers, 52 runs batted in, and he was not in the lineup last night, back in there tonight as he takes the ball away. Outfield straightaway pretty much here on Kipnis. Step or 2 towards right center perhaps for Bradley Jr. Not a lot. This is line to right, on the run is Betts, and he will play it on a hop out there in right field. And aboard is Kipnis with 2 down, first base runner of the night for the Indians.
Now Kipnis in his career 4 at bats against Breslow, make it 5 now, has 3 hits against him. That time he got an inside fastball and turned it around. Actually a fastball more out over the plate and still hooks it. Mookie Betts does a good job tracking that down and holding him to a single. Keep him out of scoring position with 2 outs.
Well, 2 down, Kipnis at first base, and Ryan Braeburn coming up here, the DH. 298 with 7 home runs and 28 runs batted in. Drops in there for strike 1. .322 against left-handed pitchers. Overall in the year for Rayburn. Inside out swing and a pop-up foul ground that has Travis Shaw backpedaling, has a play and makes it to end things here in the first inning. Done with one from Cleveland without a score. Red Sox baseball on NESN is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Second inning back in Cleveland without a score as Rusney Castillo ready to lead it off for the Red Sox. Castillo, Holt, and Marrero to bat here in the second inning. Red Sox had a leadoff walk for Mookie Betts, who stole second base but did not advance. As Castillo with a swing and a miss on a fastball kind of biting in on him.
Looked like a two-seam fastball that time that was running back in on Castillo. There's the numbers, 259, 529 for Rusney on the season.
Fouls it back and finds himself down 0-2. And David Ortiz on the bench tonight for the Red Sox, as is Dustin Pedroia. Cold night tonight in Cleveland, no doubt. Not nearly as windy as it was last night, but every bit as cold and maybe a little more raw because of the damp conditions here tonight. A lot of rain coming through Cleveland today. That is in there for strike three. Castillo frozen and it catches the bottom of the zone. Second strikeout for Corey Kluber.
Now once again they go to the breaking ball against Castillo. He's seen an awful lot of those on this particular road trip through New York and now Cleveland. It looks more like April baseball, doesn't it?
Yes,
right
it
now
does. Well, we are into October here as the Red Sox and Indians wrap up the final regular season series. One out and it brings up Brock Holt. Pitch is over the outside corner for a strike, and it's 0-1. Holt at 281 with 2 homers and 45 runs batted in. Looking for him to pull on the right side here against Holt. As Brock will take a pitch outside. First Sox player ever to start at 7 defensive positions and DH. Alex Spear of the Boston Globe checking in. Swinging a foul at the dish, and it's 1-2.
Now, Brock was hot last night to end the ball game. He got called out on strikes and was not very happy about it.
Something you don't see very often from Brock.
No, very mild-mannered and very intense, I should say, but does not vocalize that to umpires. for the most part, but he was not happy last night with that last call.
Put up our last night, of course, Marvin Hudson, who now has third base tonight for game 2 of the series. Strike 3 call, and Holt strikes out. Back-to-back Ks for Kluber, and they've both been down in the zone. 2 down.
Yeah, that's another two-seam fastball right there by Kluber to pick up the strikeout. It's one that starts inside and comes back on the plate. There's the last pitch of last night's game, and Brock Holt not happy at all about that call.
Now 2 down here in the second inning brings up Devin Marrero. Marrero getting another start at third base for the Red Sox. That's where we've seen the bulk of his playing time as he takes strike 1. 250 with a home run and 3 runs batted in for Marrero. 0 for 1 in the ball game here last night, coming off the bench. Drove in a winning run on Wednesday night in New York, breaking a 5-5 tie in the 11th inning. An RBI single in the 11th inning. 25th pitch coming up here for Kluber with 2 down in the second inning. And that is going to be on the outside corner.
He looks much better tonight than the time we saw him at Fenway this year, where he did not look very good at all. Had an off night, and the Red Sox certainly took advantage of that. He hasn't won in 3 games.
Foul tip back towards the backstop, and it is 1-2. Cleveland with a win last night, a game under 500. They're 79-80 coming into this contest tonight. Down low, 2-2. Laying on deck for the Red Sox, Sandy León, with 2 outs here in the second inning. On this road trip, Marrero getting his first extra base hit of his career. Had a solo home run in the 9th inning on Monday. First major league home run is swings here and fouls it off, and it's still 2-2. Red Sox season ticket plans are now available for the 2016 season. For information about becoming a Red Sox season ticket holder, call 617-226-6888 or visit redsox.com/season tickets today. Well, a lot of Red Sox fans here in Cleveland. We had a pretty good crowd last night, and tonight does not appear too bad either, really, in this, especially if you take under considerations the conditions here in Cleveland the last 2 nights.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised at the crowds the last couple of nights. I did not expect, it's not a great crowd, obviously, but I didn't expect anything close to this. I thought it'd be like in the old stadium where there were about 5,000 people.
Well, last night with the wind just howling in, it's not a great deal better tonight, but still.
They do have fireworks again tonight, though, after the game. So a lot of people must really enjoy fireworks.
'30th pitch for Kluber of his outing, and a payoff pitch here to Devin Marrero. And that is ball 4. And again, Kluber not happy, but that one appeared to be a little bit too low.
Yeah, that was too low. But Kluber not happy with the umpires so far in this game, because there have been a couple of pitches he's made he thought he should have had for strikes, but have not gone his way. This one definitely not in the strike zone.
Nancy Gomes trying to pull it up into the strike zone, but it is ball 4, and the second walk allowed by Kluber. So 2-out base runner here for the Red Sox, and it brings up Sandy León. And a pop-up foul down the left field line, out of play. And a 176 coming in, no homers and 3 runs batted in. 1 for 4 so far on the road trip for the Red Sox. Holding on Marrero at first base is Carlos Santana. In there for strike 2. Down 0-2. One of the September call-ups for the Red Sox. They had acquired him from Washington at the end of spring training for cash consideration. Started the year with the Red Sox. Played in the first 33 games of the year before being designated for assignment. And re-signed and spent 26 games with the Pawtucket Red Sox. And he strikes out here to end things in the second. Kluber strikes out the side. Scoreless after an inning and a half from Cleveland. Red Sox show presented by AAA. Adam Pellerin will recap the best moments from the 2015 Red Sox season. Back here in Cleveland. Is that the ketchup and mustard?
Yeah, I think ketchup, mustard, and onion have a race later on. I can't wait for it. I love those races.
I know you do. You're a big fan of the NASCAR races.
Love those. Oh.
Carlos Santana leads it off and takes a strike. As back on the mound, Craig Breslow for the second inning. 230, 18 homers, 84 runs batted in. And this is driven to deep left field. Back goes Castillo, and that ball is gone up into the bleachers in left as Carlos Santana hits his 19th home run of the year and puts Cleveland on top 1-0.
Now Santana, the switch hitter, batting from the right side of the plate against Breslow. Number 19, as you can see, and that ball was hit very, very hard. Second pitch of the at-bat, it looked to be a changeup. No, it was a fastball at 89. And he just jumps all over it for the home run. Santana actually came up as a catcher and was converted to a first baseman. And that's where he's been for the last few years.
And of course, he had that awful leg fracture at Fenway Park as a catcher. That ended his season, and that was not the reason he doesn't catch anymore. He caught for some time after that and then moved to first base. Yan Gomes now the catcher, hitting at .228. 12 homers and 45 runs batted in. 9-game hitting streak for Gomes coming in, hitting at .324 during the 9-gamer. Swings and fouls it off, finds himself down 1-2. Spent time on the DL, did Yan Gomes this year, with a sprained MCL in his right knee. Missing the bulk of April and until the last week of May before he came back. A couple rehab games in Columbus. There's a fly ball to right field. Back goes Betts, and it'll be out of his reach and one hop the wall. Heading towards second base is Gomes, and he will pull it up there with a double with nobody out here in the second inning. Out of the reach of Betts in right field.
It didn't take long for Gomes to extend that streak down to 10 straight games. Looks like he gets an outside changeup from Breslow. Outside part of the plate and going to the opposite field with some authority. Trying to use his speed to track it down as Mookie Betts, but hits it too hard over his head and short hops the wall.
So Gomes at second base with nobody out here in the second inning. Urshela the batter, Giovanni Urshela the third baseman. .223 with 6 homers and 20 runs batted in for Urshela. Urshela made his major league debut on June the 9th. And .275 at AAA Columbus, and now lifts a fly ball down the right field line. Mookie Betts over towards the line to make the catch for the first out of the inning. No advance for Gomes at second base. Hurling, the world's fastest field sport, returns to Fenway Park as part of an Irish festival on November the 22nd. For more information on the match featuring Dublin and Galway and the Irish Festival, visit redsox.com/Irish Festival. You didn't seem to know a lot about hurling last night when we were talking about it.
I don't know any more about it today. I'm sorry. I just don't know.
You'll have to go.
It's like cricket. I mean, I don't know a lot about that.
I don't either.
It's a little bit like baseball, right? But
it's similar, yeah, I think. One out Gomes at second base, and Abraham Almonte will pop it up left side of the infield. Xander Bogaerts equidistant between second and third, and on the dirt of the infield puts it away.
They're explaining to me from the truck what hurling is.
Mm-hmm.
It's a combination of many things that I can't remember.
So you have no new information to share with us.
Lacrosse,
yeah,
field hockey, rugby, and they're trying to tell me archery. No, it's not archery.
Now that would be quite a sport.
Yeah. So
archery.
Now we know what hurling is, right?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, that's quite a combination of things.
It's a lot of stuff.
It's a lot of stuff. Jerry Sands, the batter and right fielder for the Indians. So he takes strike one. mixed in archery on you there.
Somebody dropped an archery on me. Yeah,
if they had said skiing, would you have said that
Jeff
too?
Mitchell. No,
yeah.
no.
The 0-1 is in the air to the left side, and Bogaerts backpedaling onto the outfield grass puts it away to end the inning. A home run to begin the inning by Carlos Santana has the Indians on top 1-0. It's the Bruins home opener as the Winnipeg Jets come into town. Catch a special season preview episode of The Bricks at 6. Then pregame coverage starts at 6:30, followed by the puck drop at 7.
A couple there, one a Cleveland fan, one a Red Sox fan.
1-0 Indians have the lead over the Red Sox as we head to the top of the third inning. Carlos Santana all bundled up at first base. A cold night from Cleveland. Jackie Bradley Jr. leads it off for the Red Sox here in the third inning. Bradley at .248 with 10 home runs and 43 runs batted in. Heading out of the number 9 spot for the Red Sox. Changed his mind in the middle, but goes around for strike 1. Kluber struck out the side with a walk mixed in the second inning. 4 strikeouts through the first 2 innings for the Indians right-hander. Bradley 0 for 2 in the ballgame last night. Did get on base though. Was hit by a pitch. Now he takes a strike and it evens at 2-2. 218 against right-handed pitching, but 292 since August the 14th for Jackie Bradley Jr. Late swing and a foul right off the fencing in front of the Indians dugout on the third base side. DraftKings.com is paying out over $300 million this baseball season. DraftKings has given out $34 million to Boston residents alone since the site launched. Get your free entry into a one-day fantasy baseball contest today using promo code NESSON. 2-2 is in there for strike 3. And that low strike call, this time Kluber gets it. And that's strikeout number 5 for Kluber as he gets Bradley.
Yeah, that's pretty nasty right there. That's a hard breaking ball that picks up the bottom of the strike zone away from Bradley. Just about an unhittable pitch. And you'll see the location on the Amica pitch zone. It's certainly close enough to be a strike with 2 strikes. But an easy pitch for a left-hander to give up on. You think it's going to be away.
So Bradley frustrated. He used the first out of the third inning, and again the 5th K for Kluber of the night. He brings up Mookie Betts. 40th pitch is a breaking ball, and it's in there for strike 1 to Betts. Mookie walked in the first inning and then stole second base. Was left at second. Red Sox still looking for their first hit of the night as Betts bats here in the third inning. 9 of 10 first pitch strikes so far tonight for Kluber.
You know, he actually had an 18 strikeout game earlier this season against the St. Louis Cardinals. He's had a couple of 12s and 13. But 18 strikeouts against the Cardinals.
Betts fouls it off and finds himself down 1-2. Betts has reached base in now each of his last 36 games dating back to August 24th. Second longest active streak in the majors. Joey Votto a 48 game stretch of reaching base in every game. 1-2 pitch. And a foul again, backing out of play. On deck is Josh Rutledge in the 2 spot of the Red Sox order. Strikeout victim back in the first inning. A very defensive swing there, and a pitch up and in that gets part of the bat and goes back towards the backstop.
And you got a couple of strikes on you. You're thinking about the ball away and trying to cover the plate, and that time it runs back high and in on Bradley, and foul tips it, almost hit his hands. Excuse me, Mookie Betts, not Jackie Bradley.
One out, base is empty here, and Betts waiting on a 1-2 pitch. Two and two. Betts leading the majors with 68 hits since August the 14th. Batting at .356 during that time. Just a tad low, and that's a pitch that Kluber has wanted for the most part tonight. Full count. David Rackley calling the balls and strikes tonight for the umpires. Hit the bat twice, but still in the batter's box and fouled off here by Betts. A 7-pitch at bat first time up, and now an 8-pitch at bat here so far for Betts. Making Kluber work here in 2 ABs tonight. And a swing and a miss. Kluber comes back to get him. That is 3 straight strikeouts and 6 in all for Kluber. 2 down.
Yeah, once again a breaking ball away, this time from Mookie Betts, and a long at bat that ends up with a strikeout for Kluber. It's either a slider or a cut fastball. I would call it more of a slider, a hard slider from Kluber.
So 2 down, and Rutledge coming up. Rutledge, a strikeout victim in his own right in the first inning. He went swinging. Last 5 outs for Kluber have all been by way of the K. And a pitch outside for ball 1. Foul back, and it's 1-1.
And the Red Sox on the season are the 3rd toughest team in the American League to strike out. But Kluber's got a big start on him tonight.
Off the end of the bat, fouled off just above the Red Sox dugout on the first base side. Well, this postseason, MLB Network brings you 2 exclusive Division Series games, plus live coverage before and after every game on MLB Tonight. Visit findmlbnetwork.com for schedule and your channel number. Then catch 2 Division Series games on MLB Network. The postseason is always a great time, and right around the corner now. One more regular season game left for the Red Sox here tomorrow. The 1-2 pitch will miss, and it is now 2-2.
The question is, will there be any baseball on Monday? You know, a playoff of some sort to get into the playoffs. Very tight going into the last day of the season.
Strike 3 call, and that is a strikeout of the side for Kluber's 2nd straight inning. He struck out the side. It's 1-0 Indians. third inning. I want to remind you to vote for the Amica Pitcher of the Week at NESN.com/Amica. Enter to win a $100 gift card from NESN to the Yawkey Way Team Store. Well, Craig Breslow pitching here into the third inning and dealing the top of the order for the Indians. Francisco Lindor fouled out his first time up. Takes a look at strike one. Home run by Carlos Santana, the difference in the game. A solo shot in the second inning. Now a ground ball, a lot of spin on it on a hop to Shaw. Breslow covers and he gets the foot down just in time. Breslow got over there and just does beat Lindor to the bag.
Hey, good job by Breslow. Fundamentals, getting over to first base and doing a job by covering the bag. And a little bit of a hesitation, then he's off and he's got a race. It's he and Lindor who can really run down the first base line, and Breslow beats him. That ball right toward the end of the bat. You mentioned it, Don. A lot of spin out to Travis Shaw, but he gives Breslow an excellent flip on that. Right about letter high, something he can handle and tag the bag.
So one down here in the third inning. There is Mike Aviles, who struck out swinging in the first inning. 0 for 1. Center fielder Bradley Jr. over towards right center. And a pop up here around second base. Back goes Rutledge of the outfield grass, and he'll put it away. 2 down here in the third. Breslow's going to like this starting thing. The way things are going so far for him.
That's going very, very well for him. Unfortunately, not stretched out to a point where he can get deep in a ball game, but very good last time out. Same thing here tonight.
2 down here in the third inning brings up Jason Kipnis, who singled to right field in the first inning. In there for a strike, and it's 1-1. Game number 161 on the year for the Red Sox and the Indians. Swing and a miss. And it's a ball and 2 strikes now. Breslow has 1 strikeout. He struck out Mike Aviles in the first inning. He's not walked anybody yet.
Everybody has a way they start, and this is very unusual from Kipnis. He points the bat almost back at the umpire, then gets it into the hitting position.
Highest averages in home games, like sitting here at Progressive Field at 349 in that category. Miguel Cabrera. Detroit Xander Bogaerts at home at Fenway Park at 347. That's outside, and a full count now to Kipnis. Second full count for Breslow. This doesn't matter how you start, Jerry. It's kind of how you finish, and this is just kind of a starting point.
Yeah, that's all it is. Yep.
Swing and a miss, and Breslow is able to pick up his second strikeout as a 1-2-3 third. Indians have a 1-0 lead. just mean taking life simpler. It means finding new technology that puts your needs first. See what's new at easternbank.com. Here, your first Eastern Bank. Now we head to the top half of the fourth inning. Indians have a 1-0 lead. Red Sox still looking for their first hit of the game. Where Kluber has been very good through the first three. He's got 7 strikeouts. He has walked 2, but has not given up a hit. And here is Xander Bogaerts. Xander may have had the most solid contact as he lined out to shortstop in the first inning.
Yeah, there's been a lot of non-contact so far in the game for the Red Sox.
Bogaerts leading Major League shortstops in average coming into today's game at .322. 195 hits. There's a ground ball to first base. Santana will need help, and over is Kluber to cover the bag for the out. And the first out here of the fourth inning. Now for every Red Sox game that goes into extra innings or the Sox get a save, CVS Pharmacy will make a donation to Children's Hospital towards a $25,000 commitment once again this season. CVS Pharmacy, the official pharmacy of the Boston Red Sox.
Now Travis Shaw's got 1 hit off Kluber, and that's a home run back at Fenway when the Indians were in town for the only visit of the season, going to the opposite field.
Here is Travis Shaw as they stack it up in the infield here in the shift on the right side, and Shaw getting his second look tonight at Kluber. Take strike 1. There is the shift. Outfield to go on the other way. They get Almonte, the center fielder, into left center. Ground ball foul towards the end of the Red Sox dugout, and it's 0-2.
A change up that time from Kluber. Hasn't thrown too many of those in this game tonight, but had Shaw off balance with that one. The off-speed pitch and way out on his front foot. Weight shift early because of the off-speed pitch.
We talked about him winning the Cy Young 18-9 a year ago. 2.44 earned run average in 34 starts. First full season in the major leagues for Kluber. He's going up and down in 2011, 2012, and 2013. Originally a Padres 4th-round pick in 2007, then acquired by the Indians from San Diego in a 3-team deal that involved Jake Westbrook going to St. Louis. This is over the shift and into right field for a base hit for Travis Shaw. First hit of the night for the Red Sox comes here in the 4th inning.
Now Shaw gets a breaking ball, a curveball that was down in the zone. Again, a little bit off balance, but able to defeat the shift by dropping it in front of Jerry Sands out there in right field. It's a pretty good hitting right there by Travis Shaw. That ball was almost on the ground. So he's got a 4-game hitting streak now.
And 1 out, 1 on, and Rusney Castillo standing in, a strikeout victim in the 2nd inning. Chop foul right behind the plate, and it's 0-1 to Rusney. He's got one of the 7 strikeouts for Kluber so far in the night. Red Sox have their 3rd base runner of the night. Betts had walked in the 1st, and Devin Marrero had walked in the 2nd before this base hit by Travis Shaw. Swinging a foul tip, and it's 0-2.
Back-to-back breaking balls again to Castillo. I mean, it's become a regular pattern around the league where Castillo is just getting a ton of breaking balls. That's not even a good one. That one stayed up high, a slider.
Now Castillo strikes out again. This time he goes swinging, and that's 8 strikeouts for Kluber. 2 down in the inning.
That's what happens. I mean, you get back-to-back breaking balls, then he goes upstairs with the fastball, and you're going to be late on it. They wanted that fastball away. It stays up and in, but it didn't matter. Castillo can't catch up to it.
Castillo has seen 6 pitches from Kluber in this game tonight. He has struck out twice. Once looking and once swinging now. 2 down in the inning, and Travis Shaw still at first base brings up Brock Holt. Holt struck out looking in the second inning. Breaking ball in there for a strike, ended up being down the middle. The 1 pitch down and in straightens up Brock Holt. One ball, 1 strike here to Brock Holt. 2 down. Shaw at first base. And a chopper softly towards short. Lindor was deep, but on the run and just in time to get Brock Holt at first base and to end the inning. 3.5 done from Progressive Field. Indians on top 1-0. Helps make good things happen. Watch out. Good things are happening to local people at easternbank.com/goodthingshappen. Then we head here to the bottom of the 4th inning. Craig Breslow back out there again. Why not at a 1-2-3 third, and has now retired the last 6 Indians in a row. Ryan Rayburn leading it off here for the Indians. Rain has started to fall here in Cleveland, and it's coming down pretty good here as it starts again. And the crowd heading for cover again.
I don't think it's going to be very long. We saw on the weather map a little while ago something coming toward Cleveland. You see it probably here now, and after that it looked clear again.
In the air to left field. Back goes Rusney Castillo, and this ball is going to be gone. Long home run to left field. Ryan Rayburn gets his 8th home run of the year and puts the Indians on top 2-0. 2 solo home runs given up by Craig Breslow tonight.
Yeah, both of them hit very, very well, too. Santana's was hit hard, and so was Rayburn's. See what the pitch is here from Breslow. Looked like a breaking ball. That stayed up about belt high, and Rayburn takes it out of the ballpark.
Now Carlos Santana, with the bases empty, will take a look at strike one. High strike. Santana has the other solo home run. His was his 19th. That home run listed at 406 feet. Going to the count to Carlos Santana.
This is actually harder than it's rained all day right now.
Yeah, it wasn't raining this hard during the delay.
No.
That last home run, tail of the tape, 426. Pretty impressive. So is this rain. Now, you think this little patch here is not going to be a big deal, huh?
That's all I think it is. There's a little cell that's moving through, Don. As you can see, Punxsutawney Phil went back into his hole. So I think this is going to stop very, very shortly. I don't know.
The 2 pitches going to miss, and it is 1-2. I just have a hard time figuring out, you see the green blob and you kind of wonder how big is that green blob. I mean, is it going to come here and hang here?
Well, it doesn't look like a big green blob right now.
Okay. This one fouled off to the right.
I agree with you. It could hang around. That's the thing. How quickly is it moving? That's the key. I mean, it's beautiful in Pittsburgh right now. Like, it's already moved through Pittsburgh, moving up towards Akron, and boom, right on to Cleveland.
Yeah, Pittsburgh's fine. I mean, even Erie is okay right now. You ever been to Erie?
No, I have not.
I have. The sun ground is short. Bogarts has got it. His throw to first in plenty of time for the first out. Catch an all-new episode of the Red Sox Report on Tuesday. Go behind the scenes for a special look at Big Papi's milestone moment. That and more on the Red Sox Report Tuesday at 5. Used to be the Erie Sailors who played in the New York Penn League.
That was Rookie League, right? New York Penn League?
Yes. Yep. But there were the Pittsfield Mets back in 1991. The Erie Sailors.
Was that your first year of broadcasting?
There was. Yep.
Very first.
Very first. So this is my 25th overall with 10 years in the minors and of course the 15 years here. But yes, I remember Erie very well. That one kind of stood out for me. A lot of those stops in New York Penn League. One out for Yan Gomes here, who doubled in the second inning. And pops it up. Foul off first base. Travis Shaw over towards the Red Sox dugout and looking up into the raindrops to make that catch. 2 down.
When you were like a rookie doing games at Erie,
yes.
At Pittsfield.
Yep.
Did you have to do other assignments besides just the games?
I pulled the tarp.
Part of the grounds crew.
When it would start to rain, I would run down and help pull tarp. We would go into a rain delay format. There was no Alex Spear or Bradford or any of that. I would have to go down and help pull the tarp, and that was just part of the deal. I mean, you have all kinds of responsibilities, especially in the minor leagues. You work in sales, you do PR. I did the notes for a number of years, and public relations side of things. Ground ball to shortstop. Bogarts has got it. And it's throw to first in plenty of time. The home run by Ryan Rayburn has given the Indians a 2-0 advantage. rest of America run on Dunkin' because our coffee is consistently smooth and delicious. The Boston Red Sox run on Dunkin'. Well, Jerry going to work here on several areas here at the ballpark with drying agent, as they have not yet broken out a lot of that drying agent, but they are working on the back of the mound. But I think there's drying agent in our future. And I love drying agent. You know that. I like talking about drying agent.
Why don't you go ahead down there next half inning and throw a little of the agent on the mud.
I never realized about how much I talk about drying agent, to the point where Jim Palmer, when we were in Baltimore, gave me a gift. He brought me drying agent in a bag and delivered it to the booth when we were there. Hall of Famer Jim Palmer.
You know, I don't get it either, because I don't really see where you have talked a lot about that. I'm here every day.
Apparently I have, and I don't know. I do like drying agent. I like when they put it out there. Well, I'll say this. I would rather see drying agent come out onto the field than the tarp.
Oh, yeah. Without question. Now, is this guy going to have an issue putting this on?
Boy, it's not as easy as it looks. Trust me, we've seen this many times. A swing and a miss here for Devin Marrero.
Well, this guy's got it.
That's what he's doing.
He's got it.
He's just got to be able to cover the rest of them, though, with it, though, now. And I think he's going to be all right. I see this working out well. Oh, yeah. He's all set.
Yeah, he's good.
The key is that you're able to breathe. That's the part that really gets kind of scary. He's down to first, and Santana will flip underhanded and try to find his footwork on the bag, and did successfully. Was Corey Kluber. Nice play. Had to reach back to grab it. So one out here in the fifth inning. He's got it totally under control.
What is this?
We're receiving gifts, I guess, Jerry. I don't know what's going on here.
Bath and Body Works. What is this?
Don, Jerry, we were talking about gifts yesterday. So while I was out shopping, I saw those and I thought of you, Don. You always talk about how much you enjoy a candle in your hotel room. So I got you that one. And the sales lady said the other one was very manly. So I got the blue one for Jerry.
Okay.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. That's awfully nice.
It's flannel, so.
Wait a minute, so hang on.
Jerry, Jerry should have the blue one that is flannel, and Don, you should have my favorite, which is the pumpkin one.
Okay. But it's because Jerry is more manly, if I heard that.
You know what? I just saw it and I thought of Jerry. I don't know why. So I wanted him to have it.
Well, thank you very much, Karen. That's awfully nice to you.
Very
This
nice.
is quite a surprise.
Well, I said I like to shop, buy gifts, so I was out this morning and I thought of you guys.
Thank you very much. Did you get anything for yourself, or are you just buying for others?
Of course I bought something for myself. I got the same candle that I bought you.
Very nice.
Well, that's nice, because we didn't get anything, and we didn't even think of gifts. So that's awfully nice of you.
Very, very nice.
It actually smells good.
Yeah. This one is to short left field and falling fast. That's going to fall in for a base hit for Sandy Leon. So one out, and Leon has himself a single. That is the second hit for the Red Sox off Kluber.
You know, the more I think about it, I think Guerin is going to become my personal shopper for all occasions, because
did a nice job.
Yeah, I mean, really, this, and this is not something you would take back. So
no, I won't be returning this. This will be going home with me.
This is so. I think Guerin, I got to get your number and your contact information for the holidays, and
anytime, Jerry.
Just don't tell anybody.
Happy to help. Any reason to go shopping, like I said, I'm in.
Okay, don't tell anybody, though.
Absolutely. Secret is safe.
One out, a runner at first. Jackie Bradley Jr., the batter. And he went after that for strike one.
We actually bought Guerin a ticket to the game tonight to watch the game in the rain.
I have to ask Guerin if tonight is worse than last night, since we're behind these windows and comfortable.
Cannot see the game.
Right.
You know what, you guys, the one positive is there is no wind tonight. Usually it's been cold, rainy, and windy. So tonight, I don't know if I'd call it rain. It's more like a monsoon right now.
Okay. That answers that.
That green blob is a monsoon.
Well, Leon is caught stealing here. A hit and run, it appeared, but Bradley couldn't make contact.
Yeah, certainly not a straight-out steal. A hit and run put on, and that's Bradley swings and misses a lot. I'm not sure that that's the proper call with him at the plate. And the throw right there, plenty of time to get Leone at second base.
0-2 pitch. And a fly ball to right field. Sands looking up into the rain will make the catch that ends the top of the 5th inning. Halfway through, Indians on top 2-0. Cleveland tonight as we check out Craig Breslow's pitching line, brought to you by Ace Ticket. 4 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs. He's not walked anybody. He's struck out 2. He's given up 2 solo home runs. 1 to Carlos Santana in the 2nd, and 1 in the 4th inning to Ryan Rayburn. So it is 2-0 Indians, and Abraham Almonte leading it off and taking a pitch for a strike over the inside corner. Almonte popped out to the shortstop in the 2nd inning. Outside, a ball and a strike. Rain has let up here pretty significantly. So, Jerry, I guess you were correct about that sell.
And what'd you expect?
Well, I don't know. To be honest.
I've done a little weather, you know, Don.
I know you have.
Yeah. And the map's not that tough to read, really.
I just didn't know the speed at which it was moving at. I don't know what this is. I guess you see the time lapse there, but I don't know. I didn't know if it was going to come and hang. I don't know. I expected more than what we got. It rained pretty hard there for a little while.
Yeah, it was touch and go for about 5 minutes, and then off it goes. So I think we're going to be all right after this. I think it's going to be pretty clear. You know, well, I don't know about clear. We can't see the sky, but I don't think it's going to rain.
3-1 pitch. And it's a ground ball down third baseline. Marrero in time to get Almonte for the first out of the 5th inning. So 4 in a row retired now by Breslow.
See, now I feel bad. Garen gets us something and we have got nothing for her. So what are we going to do?
We'll have to do something in the next 24 hours. We have very little time.
I mean, that's a good. They give me an idea from the truck. New umbrella.
Don, Jerry, after an entire season of, I think I could use a new umbrella. This one's getting pretty beat up.
All right, so there we have it. How about some mustard? You like mustard?
No, I'm actually going to pass on that, but thank you. Thanks.
One down here in the 5th.
Feel awful.
The line to left field, and that is in for a base hit for Jerry Sands. He'll take a wide turn at first, but hold on here. Breaks up a string of 4 in a row, retired by Craig Breslow.
Breaking ball again from Breslow, and this time hit very well by Sands. The line drive to left field. Stayed up in the zone a little bit for Craig, and the one-out base runner here in the bottom of the fifth.
1 out, 1 on. Top of the order, Francisco Lindor, 0 for 2 in the game. He is fouled out to the catcher, grounded out to first base. Last time out for Breslow, he threw 55 pitches in 4 innings. Next pitcher will be his 60th of this outing. Outside for ball 2, 2-0. There is action in the pen as Matt Barnes warms up. Inside for ball 3, 3-0. Lindor has fouled out to the catcher Sandy Leon and grounded out to first base. 0 for 2 in the game. There's a strike. 3-1 at the bottom of the zone for Breslow. Breslow in his career 1-3 record, a 2.42 ERA and 26 career relief appearances against the Indians, but first time that he's ever pitched against them as a starter. Ground ball down the third baseline, picked by Marrero, goes to second for 1, on to first, and taken out there at second base was Rutledge there, and didn't get a lot on that throw as it turned out.
Yeah, it's a tough play because Marrero has to go down that third base line to make the play, so that's going to take a while. And then you got the runner getting right on top. Sands gets right on top of Rutledge, as you can see. And even with that strong throwing arm that he has, when you're off balance like that, it's hard to get much on the throw.
So Lindor reaching at first base with 2 outs here now in the fifth. Mike Aviles, the batter, has struck out swinging tonight, popped out to second base, 0 for 2. Now he hits one in the air to left field. Back goes Castillo, moving back towards the warning track and onto it to make the catch, backpedaling to the dirt of the track. We played 5. Indians have a 2-0 lead. Don't miss WB Mason Extra Innings live right after the game. TC, Jim, and Steve will break down tonight's game. Have the latest on the AL playoff races. Whatever, whenever, wherever. Who but WB Mason? 2-0. Indians have the lead over the Red Sox. Speaking of races, your favorite thing, Jerry?
I hate this. I hope this never comes to Fenway. Please, if you're listening, do not bring this silliness to Fenway.
Wow, look at that. They took ketchup out.
It's an act every night. Somebody gets, clipped or tackled or it's.
I love it. I absolutely love it. I can't get enough. And I love drying agent. Did I tell you that already?
Yeah.
I love it. And they're putting it all over the field. So here we go to the 6th inning as Mookie Betts will take a pitch running up and in.
Why do they do that stuff like that? I mean, those
it's fun for fans.
It's got to be sponsored, right? It's got to be for money.
I don't know. I think it's fun for fans and kids come to the ballpark.
Watching that.
Kids and families and fun. All things They had a good time. They thought it was fun. They enjoyed it.
Well, if the kids like it, great, but I mean,
and with the win today, ketchup has just tied mustard tied onion with 27 wins on the season.
So we got a runoff tomorrow in the final game.
How about that? I mean, think about that.
I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight.
No. That might be the Open tomorrow.
Mustard and onion? Yeah. Why don't we do that? Yeah. We can break it down, who gets off to a better start, who's got finishing power.
These are all things, if you were here every day in Cleveland, you would know. I mean, there are patterns that develop during the course of the season. Here's a fly ball headed towards left center field. Now Monte coming from center. Aviles from left, and it's Aviles makes the catch. One of the center fielder for the first out. But get immediate care without leaving the ballpark at Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center's first aid station behind Section 12 in the lower concourse. BIDMC is the official hospital of the Boston Red Sox.
Tomorrow's going to be a special day. I mean, we're going to be honoring Don on our broadcast, and we also have the finale of Onion versus Mustard. I mean,
it's big.
This is big TV. This is must-see TV.
There's Josh Rutledge, who is 0 for 2. Struck out in the first and in the third. He has gone swinging and looking. You haven't spent much time in the minor leagues, have you? As far as going around and seeing the different things that they do.
I spent 3.5 years in the. Wait a minute.
What did you think of the? What did you think of the bat races and stuff that they do? You spin around and then you run.
I think it's dumb.
Okay.
No, I'm serious about that because I've seen people really get hurt doing that. I mean, you stand there, you run around a bat, you spin to get dizzy, and then you try to run to a certain spot. How dumb is that? I mean,
it's fun to watch.
Well, it's fun to watch, but it's not fun to watch the poor person who's running into dugouts and walls and everything else. I mean, it's crazy.
Now, when you were in the minor leagues, you had to have seen like Max Patkin was going around then, right? I mean, at the time, the comedian.
The whole act got tired. I mean, it really did. The match was everywhere, and the first time you see him, it's funny, but then it's like it's the same act. It's. I'm sorry. I just don't.
I get it. I get it. Yes, you're just being honest. It's just you.
Well, the great Bob Feller, who for many years traveled around the minor leagues, and he would challenge people to come out of the stands to try to hit him.
6-3 on the put out of Rutledge. Really, you went from minor league to minor league park.
Oh yeah,
he'd face.
He'd face fans, and I don't know why Bob did this, to be honest with you, because it didn't make any sense, And I mean, it was great to see Bob Feller, but I must say, Bob didn't like to sign autographs. I mean, here's Bob Feller, and you go up and ask for an autograph and you couldn't get one. So I found that a little disappointing.
Yes.
But yeah, he spent years doing that.
2 down in the inning. Xander Bogaerts stands in. And Xander will take a pitch outside for ball 1. How about puppies? You like puppies?
Yeah, I do.
You do.
I actually do. Yeah. I don't like to train them, and I don't, you know. So it's already as long as there's somebody to train them and feed them and take them out. I love them, you know. But
if there's somebody else to deal with it, basically.
Yeah, if it was my responsibility,
okay.
No way.
One ball, one strike here to Xander Bogaerts. And a liner to center field. Hit pretty well. Monte going back. He'll have room. And he makes the catch. It ends the top of the 6th inning. 5.5 done. 2-0 Indians. Heartburn. Go to NXIVM24hour.com for savings and pick up NXIVM 24 Hour at your local Stop and Shop. The rain has subsided here, still on the cool side in Cleveland, where the Indians have a 2-0 lead. Into the bottom of the 6th inning we go. Back out there is Breslow, at least to begin the inning, and a pitch in there for strike one. Breslow went 4 innings in his first outing, has gone 5 so far. The 0-1 pitch on the ground right side has Rutledge to his right as he throws out Kipnis for the first out of the inning. Barnes still warming in the pen for the Red Sox. And it looks like he'll be coming in as Torey Lovullo out there to make the move now after Breslow was able to retire Kipnis to begin things here in the 6th inning. So 5 1/3 for Breslow. Pitches pretty well, gives up the 2 solo home runs and departs trailing 2-0 in this one. Pitching change from Progressive Field in Cleveland. inside scoop on who should start in your fantasy football leagues this week. NESN Sports Today is presented by People's United Bank. See what know-how can do. Well, Craig Breslow going 5 1/3 innings in tonight's game before handing off the baseball. Giving up solo home runs to Santana and to Rayburn in this game. Matt Barnes comes into his 32nd game of the year. 3-4 with a 5.62 earned run average. 37 strikeouts, 13 walks, and opponents sitting at 310 against Barnes. Gonna have a pinch hitter here for the Indians. Lonnie Chisenhall coming up to pinch hit for Ryan Rayburn after Rayburn tonight had gone 1 for 2 with a solo home run in the 4th inning. One down, and Chisenhall will take strike one. High strike. As a pinch hitter, hitting at .295 as 2 pinch hit home runs. Tonight for Rayburn. There's a swing and a miss as Chisenhall down to 0-2.
Good curveball there by Bonds, working the bottom of the strike zone, actually out of the strike zone, but chased by Chisenhall. Over the top, 12-6 job.
Popped up, foul ground as Marrero goes as far as he can, but that's back into the crowd. Last time we saw Matt Barnes was in the 6th inning on Wednesday night in New York. Got the first 2 outs before giving up a solo go-ahead home run to A-Rod, snapping a 7-game, 8-inning scoreless stretch for the right-hander. Another foul ball, still 0-2. Foul back, still 0-2. Now moving over to left center field is Jackie Bradley Jr. Went from right center to left center now on Chisenhall with 2 strikes on the batter. Swing and a miss, and Chisenhall strikes out, so Barnes gets him. It's time for Game Break, brought to you by Jordan's, the furniture store of the Boston Red Sox. Tom? All right, Tom, thanks very much. Back here at Progressive Field in Cleveland with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Carlos Santana, the batter. Shifting on the right side of the Red Sox, and pretty close together on this shift on the right side. Bogart's going over there. Barnes falling behind 2-0. Santana with a solo home run in the 2nd inning, his 19th home run of the year. They grounded out to shortstop in the 4th inning. Now they switch it up. Marrero goes to the right side. Bogart's going back to the left side now. Sure, I don't know if you noticed, but they put drying agent at each position in the infield in between innings.
Very observant, though.
Yes, shortstop, second, first, and even around home plate. Three and 1 the count. Santana fouls it back, and below us, out of play. Waiting on deck, Yan Gomes with the Indians batting here in the bottom of the 6th inning with 2 down. Santana foul it back. We'll do it again, 3-2. Ball 4, a little bit low, and down to first base goes Santana. A 2-out walk, and that's just the first walk given up by Red Sox pitching tonight. Well, stay tuned for Red Sox Final presented by Uno's. TC, Jim, and Steve will have the 2015 Red Sox Plays of the Year and preview Rick Porcello's start tomorrow in the season finale. 2 down as Carlos Santana is at first base and Yan Gomes the batter. Throw first, and back to the bag is Santana.
Santana can run. He's got 11 steals on the season. He can surprise you. Thrown out 3 times.
Greg Breslow, who started this inning at the first out of the inning, went 5 1/3, 5 hits, 2 runs, didn't walk anybody, struck out 2, and threw 66 pitches. On the hook right now, the Red Sox trailing 2-0 to the Indians. It's falling behind 2-0. 31 games for Barnes with the Red Sox, 29 of which were in relief. A couple of starts for Barnes. Did not do well as a starter. Was 0-2 with a 9.58 earned run average. Outside for ball 3. There's a strike in. It's 3-1. The gap out in left center field here for Gomes with Bradley Jr. into right center. And it's foul back, full count.
Back-to-back fastballs by Barnes to run the count full.
Right now, Ace Ticket is your tickets to all Boston Bruins, Boston Celtics, and New England Patriots games. Visit aceticket.com for the best seats at the best prices. Ace Ticket, it's more than a ticket. 2 outs, Santana at first base, and Yan Gomes waiting on a 3-2 pitch. Santana will be off. And a line drive, base hit into center field. Santana will stop at second base. Throw goes behind him, and he does just get the foot back on the bag. Let's go back to Tom Caron for a game break. Tom? Wow, that's amazing.
Wow, 17 strikeouts.
Wow. 2 on, 2 out here as it is Giovanni Urshela, the batter. And he's trying to add on to their lead here in the bottom of the 6th inning. And that'll drop in there for strike 1. Urshela has flied to right and grounded out to shortstop. 0 for 2. Scherzer becomes the 5th pitcher ever to throw 2 no-hitters in a single season. Line foul off to the right out of play, and it's 0-2. Do you know if it's been the same guy up there beating the same drum for all those years?
Yeah, I don't know if it's the same guy, but it's been the same act for all these years, that's for sure. But at least back to 1975 when I broke in at the old stadium. That's all you could hear. There were no people there. You can just hear that the drumming going on in the outfield.
I'm told it is the same guy, and it's John Adams, and he was from the old place. He's been the same guy the entire time.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Looks like the same drum too.
Yeah, it does. What if he stays there during the winter up there up top? Waits for baseball to come back here.
You know, you can, when you're on the field, and especially when there's nobody around, you know, you can really hear that, and it kind of gets to you after a while.
He's been doing it since 1973. This one was fouled out.
That's 2 years before I got to the big league, so it's amazing. Isn't this the place also where the fireworks went off when the visiting team hit a home run recently? Does that gentleman still have a job?
I don't know.
He does. According to Mike, he does.
He does.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's good. I'm glad they didn't discipline him for that. I mean, you know, that's an honest mistake. And
one of the fireworks guys getting ready for after the ball game. The 0-2 pitch coming up here to Urshela. And a swing and a miss, gets away from Leon for a moment. He has to fire down to first and does successfully as Urshela strikes out. The Indians leave 2 on, and we head to the 7th inning with Cleveland on top 2-0. Watch the Globies Awards ceremony Saturday, October the 10th at 10 p.m. See who goes home with the hottest new awards in Boston's sports scene. The Globies on NESN are presented in part by Tufts Health Plan. 2-0 Indians have the lead. Some changes here for the Indians as Jose Ramirez takes over at second base for Jason Kipnis. Kluber back on the mound again, and he has been terrific tonight, only allowing 2 hits to the Red Sox. Indians going to a shift on the right side here on Travis Shaw, who leads it off in the 7th inning. Shaw has 1 of the 2 hits. Single to right field his last time up. The other hit, a base hit for Sandy Leon, a single. Pitch in there for a strike, and it is 1-1 now to Shaw. He'll be followed by Castillo and Holt here in the 7th inning. Pops it up foul, out of play off to the left, and it's 1-2 to Travis Shaw. Kluber with 8 strikeouts, and they all came in the first 4 innings. It's 7 strikeouts through 3. Look at his pitching line that is brought to you by Lexus. 6+ 2 hits, no runs, 2 walks, 8 Ks, 88 pitches. In there for strike 3, and Shaw just kind of frozen there. And there's the 9th strikeout for Kluber in the first out of the 7th inning.
Now that's a pitch earlier in the ball game that Kluber was not getting on a couple of occasions. It kind of upset him, but he gets it here with 2 strikes against Travis Shaw. That borderline outside fastball.
One down here in the 7th inning brings up Rusney Castillo. 0 for 2, struck out looking in the 2nd, struck out swinging in the 4th inning. Rusney not swinging this time, as he has struck out twice in the game. 7 pitches and 7 strikes to Rusney so far in this game. And a ground ball up the middle to second base. Ramirez just into the game, and he's able to throw out Castillo for the 2nd out of the 7th. We'll join Emmy Award winners Billy Costa and Jenny Johnson at the Foodie Event of the Year on November 14th at the Park Plaza Castle. Enjoy dishes from 30 premier dining spots, a full bar, dancing, and a live auction. Tickets are available now on NESN.com/gala. 2 down in the 7th inning, and it brings up Brock Holt. 0 for 2. Brock has struck out looking and grounded out to shortstop. In there for a strike to Holt.
Did you say they were Grammy Award winners?
Emmy Award winners.
Emmy Award winners.
Yes, no, they don't sing. They,
that's right. The Grammys are singing. Yeah, that's right. Emmys.
Emmys.
Yeah, we got a piece of paper that said thanks.
We did.
Yeah.
Yes,
we were nominated.
There's a ground ball wide of first. We won a couple times, though. We
got a lot of paper, yeah.
Yeah.
No, we've won a couple times,
yes.
yeah. But the paper one, they might as well just keep the paper one.
The nomination doesn't do it for you. Be nominated is not enough. No, you want the actual trophy. I get it.
I mean, you don't know if he came in 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th.
Right.
You have no idea.
10th, for all you know. And Holt gets hit. Down he goes. He's in some pain here.
Looks like it got him in the ankle. Let's take another look here and see if we can pick up where it got him. Ooh, right in the knee. That left knee.
Trying to get some weight on it here and see if he can walk on it.
It was a breaking ball that time from Kluber that just kept carrying inside, and it got his the back leg, the left leg on the knee, and he's being obviously helped off the field.
Craig pinch running at first base for Brock Holt, who leaves this game after being hit in the knee with a pitch.
See the breaking ball that time, just following Brock Holt, and there's nowhere to go on that. That's your plant leg, and really not much you can do. Well, that probably will be the end of the season for Brock Holt, I would imagine.
Walking on his own very gingerly at the moment. And unfortunately, he's got quite a few stairs to deal with to get to the clubhouse. You got to go down and then up
and back up. Yeah.
So 2 down. Craig pinch running at first base, and Devin Marrero the batter. There's a ground ball down the first baseline. It is a fair ball, and it'll be Santana just tagging the bag and ending the inning. 7th inning stretch from Cleveland. It is 2-0 Indians. .com, your local Subaru dealers, and by Sullivan Tire and Auto Service. Thank you, New England, for 60 great years. Well, it's on to the bottom of the 7th inning. Indians have a 2-0 lead over the Red Sox, out hitting the Red Sox 6-2. Abraham Almonte to lead it off here for the Indians. In the bottom of the 7th, and Matt Barnes back on the mound here to begin the inning. Came in with 1 out in the 6th inning. Walked a batter, gave up a hit. Able to strike out both Lonnie Chisenhall and Giovanni Urshela. Monty 0 for 2, and he tries a bunt here hard to second base, and Rutledge will flip to first for the out. Ended up being too hard as he got it to the second baseman, and Rutledge able to flip to first for the out.
Yeah, that was really hard. I mean, that was like a regular ground ball at second base. Off the bat of Almonte, trying to drag the ball between the first baseman, second baseman, and pitcher, but way too hard. But this time you can see it didn't fool Rutledge at all. And that's like a routine ground ball at second base.
So 1 out here in the 7th inning brings up Jerry Sands, who has popped out to short and single. One of the 6 Cleveland hits in the ballgame.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
What made you wear that yellow shirt tonight?
I have no idea. You don't like it?
You look like a big dandelion.
It's in the rotation. You know, it's part of what I have. It's part of the stuff.
I don't think it goes with what you got on.
I have a light brown, kind of a tan thing with kind of a maroon Boston College thing going on here.
I think it's,
like it,
it's not you.
Huh. Well, It's what I chose. I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry. You don't think it matches at all?
It just stands out too much. And I noticed it when you were doing your
jacket.
The Open.
Thank you. He's going to get my jacket. When I put the whole package together, I think you're going to like it.
I don't think so, because I don't like the yellow.
Hold on. The yellow isn't as offensive when I have my coat on.
That's pretty offensive.
No, I really. Hold on. Here we go. This one is fouled back to the screen. Thanks, Mike. Okay.
I think you still look like a dandelion.
You put the whole package together, and it's not nearly as bad as all that yellow when I have it off. It's just sort of a complementary piece. Yeah, I think it's fine. I think it matches, too. Does it match?
I don't like it.
Maybe.
I don't like it. I don't think Joseph Abu would like that shirt.
2-2 pitches outside. Well, he designed it. So.
Yeah, but I don't think he'd like it. I really don't. I just have a feeling.
Okay. Well.
It's an Abu shirt. It's not an Abu shirt. He doesn't make yellow shirts. You're not wearing his shirt tonight.
Jerry, maybe you need to go out with Don and help him pick out some clothes.
This one is fouled off down the right field line. That might be a good idea. But
I knew that was not an Abu shirt, because he does not make a yellow shirt like that.
I don't think it is. I'm thinking about it. I know that the jacket is obviously Abu'd.
Yes.
The tie is obviously Abu'd.
But the shirt is not.
The shirt might not be Abu'd.
It might be a Baboob.
It could be, yes. Jerry Baboob. This one is fouled off to the right. And out of play. As it is a full count still. Wow. I'm very critical of my combination.
I never. But you never wear things that stand out as much as this yellow shirt stands out.
Well, it is yellow. I mean, it is really
very yellow.
Very yellow. This is in the air out to center field. Struck pretty well. Bradley back onto the track, and he'll have room. Makes the catch for the second out of the 7th inning. Well, tomorrow at 2, don't miss. Red Sox first pitch presented by Joseph Abu, available at Men's Warehouse. TC, Jim, and Steve will look back at some of the best moments from both on the field and off the field this season. 2 down in the 7th inning. Here is Francisco Lindor, 0 for 3 in the ball game. He was fouled out, grounded out, reached on a fielder's choice. There's a swing and a miss, and it's 1-1. This combination got a lot of base time tonight, too, with the 45-minute rain delay fill.
Yeah, it did. It really did.
It never really worked. 1-1 pitch, and that grabs the attention of Lindor. He's kind of lunging into it, almost got hit. Late reaction.
And coming up and in on Lindor, and you're right, it was a very late reaction. More of a reaction after the ball got by him.
So one fouled back, and it's 2-2. Wednesday night, catch an all-new episode of Behind the B. Go behind the scenes of the Bruins as they make their way through the preseason and get ready for their season opener on October the 8th. Don't miss Behind the B Wednesday night at 8. 2-2 pitch. And a liner down the left field line that is going to be a fair ball. Over to plate is Castillo, and foul ground. It gets by him. Heading to second base is Lindor. And now Castillo gets it back in as with 2 outs in the inning, Lindor finds his way to second base.
And that breaks up an 0 for 12 for Lindor as he slices one down that left field line. It looked like Rusney was a little bit tentative as he was going after this ball, not exactly how to play it. Right there it spins by him, but it was going to be a double anyway, regardless, because Lindor has a very good speed. You see the ball attendant trying to get out of the way there of Rusney Castillo as he climbs the fence.
It's a single and an error charge to Castillo that allows Lindor to get to second base.
I think that's silly. I think that's going to be a double anyway.
Spinning off the backside, Barnes, no throw. Action in the Red Sox pen. Tommy Lane up for Boston, the left-hander. The ball tender did a great job getting out of the way. chair and everything going over the railing.
Yeah, that was pretty good. That's good action right there, but I still don't agree with the call. I think it should have been a double.
Outside for ball 2, 2-0. Vilas has struck out, popped out, and flied out to the warning track last time in left field. Rusney Castillo making the catch in front of the wall in left. Three and 0. Barnes has walked one since coming in, striking out 2. And there's ball 4, a 4-pitch walk allowed by Barnes with 2 outs here in the inning. All of a sudden the Indians have 2 on. H.B. Hood salutes the Red Sox Foundation's commitment to 4,900 accredited charities throughout New England. And Torey Lovullo headed back out there again. He's had Tommy Lane ready to go in the pen. He's going to go get him. So 2 outs and 2 on here in the 7th. The Indians have a 2-0 lead. Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. 2-0. The Indians have the lead over the Red Sox. They have changed the scoring. It's going to be a straight double, not a single and an error.
Yeah, I certainly agree with that because, you know, even if Castillo backhands it right there, there's no way that they get Lindor at second base. That's a double all the way right there. So a good call by the official to make the switch on that.
Well, the new pitcher is Tommy Lane, who comes into the game. 64th appearance of the year. 2-1 with a 3.99 earned run average. 45 strikeouts, 27 walks. Opponents hitting at .236 against Lane. As Ramirez will take strike one. Jose Ramirez batting for the first time. Took over at second base defensively for Jason Kipnis. .219 average. 6 homers and 27 runs batted in. That one will get away, and the runner from second moves to third base in Lindor. No advance for the runner at first in Aviles. He didn't get a real good look. Pass ball charged to Leon.
And that ball really fooled Leon. You can see him reach to his left for him, but kind of handcuffed him. And it's surprising the man at first did not go. So a first and third situation now with the 2 outs. I wonder if Leon got crossed up on that, because that was awfully strange. He's a good defensive catcher, and he might have got crossed up on that side. See how he goes to catch this. Yeah, it's almost like he was expecting something other than what he got. That time blocks the ball in the dirt.
First and third, 2 down here for the Indians in the 7th inning. Lindor at third with Aviles at first. And a 2-1 pitch coming here to Ramirez. And a ground ball foul. 2-2. More action for the Red Sox in the pen. Heath Hembree warming. Tommy Lane last throwing on Wednesday night at New York, a scoreless inning. He walked 3. Two and 2 the count to Ramirez. Close pitch, a little bit high, and it's full count now. 3-2. Lindor at third, Aviles at first. 2 down here in the 7th inning. And a blooper to shallow center. Bradley coming in, and he'll make the running catch that ends the inning. The Indians leave runners at first and third. We head to the 8th. 2-0 Indians. Craig Breslow started the game 5 1/3, 5 hits, 2 runs, both home runs, solo shots. Kluber, 7 innings, no runs on just 2 hits. The home runs, Santana his 19th, Rayburn his 8th of the year. Now it's on to the 8th inning, and Sandy Leon leading it off here for the Red Sox against Corey Kluber. That's pitch 96 for Kluber. Leon has one of the 2 Red Sox hits in the game. Struck out looking in the 2nd. He singled to left in the 5th inning. Now a liner into right field, and that is the 2nd hit for Sandy Leon of the game.
That's It's been a good night for Kluber. Big strikeout night. Let's take a look at the last four that he's had. It was a breaking ball there, a slider against Betts, a fastball to Rutledge, another fastball up and into Castillo, and a fastball nasty right there, the outside part of the plate to Travis Shaw. This is more like the Corey Kluber we expected to see that we did not see at Fenway Park in his last outing against the Red Sox.
Runner at first base, and it brings up Jackie Bradley Jr. And a pitch outside for ball one. Bradley has struck out looking and flied to right. All the hits that Kluber has allowed have been singles in this game. A little bit low, 2-0. Brian Shaw warming in the pen now for the Indians. Outside for ball three, 3-0. So 100 pitches for Kluber, a couple shy of his average, and ways to go to get to that 121 season high. Fourth 3-ball count of the night for Kluber. That's a strike, and it is 3-1.
Not much down the middle of the plate tonight for Kluber. A lot of pitches on the corners, even that 3-0 fastball.
So Mookie Betts waiting on deck here. Nobody out in the eighth. Leadoff base hit by Leon. Now Bradley grounds to first base. Santana to second for one. Kluber covering for two. Double play. That'll go 3-6-1 on the double play.
Very nicely done there by the Indians. We mentioned the Indians, a very good defensive ball club, and they show it here on the 3-6-1. Well executed. Good job by Kluber getting over to do his job and cover the first base bag. You see that throw inside the bag, and that makes it much easier for Lindor, the shortstop, to get it back to first base with the pitcher covering.
Two down here for Mookie Betts, who has walked, struck out, flied out to left. And Mookie will take strike one. The center fielder Abraham Almonte over towards right center field. And that's going to miss. Evens at 1-1 to Betts. There's Almonte in right center. And a 30-minute rain delay to get this game started tonight. 17,342 here though tonight for game 2 of the series. Again, 17,342. Rain falling again now here in Cleveland. Take a look at Kluber's pitching line on the night as far as pitches by inning. That third inning the most had to work. He actually struck out the side in that inning.
And when you look at those numbers, you know, we show those a lot. Look at the number 15. I mean, the whole kind of idea for pitchers to be 15 or below during the course of an inning. He's only had one inning where he's been at that mark.
Well, fly ball to center field, sending Almonte back. He has plenty of room out there, though, and he'll make the catch that ends the inning. We head to the bottom of the eighth with the Indians on top 2-0. games at the Globies, presented by Mercedes-Benz, with a guest list that includes Doug Flutie, Taylor Twellman, and many more. The Globies is gearing up to be the biggest night in local sports. Buy your tickets now at bostonglobe.com/Globies. Well, Tommy Lane had warmed up to get ready for this inning, but he is done as Torey Lovullo out there to make the change here. As it works out, he will not throw a pitch in the bottom of the 8th inning. Heath Hembree now coming in. I'm not sure if he wasn't ready or what the deal is, but he is now coming in.
Yeah, probably was not quite ready. We saw him start to get up and loosen up, and I don't think he had quite enough time. So Lovullo getting a little time by sending Lane back out there just to make a couple of warm-up pitches.
We will step aside with the pitching change from Cleveland. Two to nothing, Cleveland on top of Boston as a pitching change here for the Red Sox, and it is Heath Hembree who is into the game. Runs that pitch inside for ball one to the pinch hitter Jesus Aguilar, who is pinch hitting here. Hembree's 22nd appearance, 2-0, the 3.70 earned run average, 13 strikeouts, 9 walks. Opponents hitting at .258 against Hembree. Aguilar, 286, no homers, and a run batted in. He pinch hit in last night's game as well, coming off the bench again for the Indians. Sends it foul off to the right, out of play. Hembree taking over for Lane, who went a third of an inning. No hits, no runs, no walks, and no strikeouts. Tired, the only batter that he faced. And Ramirez in the 7th inning, and then started warm up in the 8th before Hembree came in. Swing and a miss, and Aguilar strikes out for the first out here at the bottom of the 8th inning. Well, tomorrow on the season finale of NESN Clubhouse, we look back at the best moments of the year and see some never before seen bloopers. Don't miss the season finale of NESN Clubhouse tomorrow at 1:30, presented by Delta Dental of Massachusetts. Special 3 o'clock start time tomorrow across Major League Baseball. One out in the 8th inning, and brings up Carlos Santana.
That worked out well for Major League Baseball because there's going to be some deciding games tomorrow.
Yeah, that way you don't have teams kind of waiting around to see where they're going to go, which has always been kind of a challenge.
I like this idea. I really do, and especially the way this thing's finishing up this season.
Swing and a miss, and it's 1-1. Now they're going to switch here on the shift on the right side. Carlos Santana with a home run back in the second inning. He is grounded out to short and walked. This is lined into left center field for a hit. Over from left field picking is Castillo. His throw to second base is pretty good, and he is safe. Good slide there. That time by Santana. Went to the third base side, and that's what made it very difficult that time for the tag to get him.
And we told you, Santana surprisingly can run. I mean, he's a big guy, but has pretty good speed, and he's had a very good night. The home run, the walk, now the double. Nice play by Castillo. Spins around, gets rid of it. But, going in, you can see as a runner where that throw is, and you know what side to slide to. And he slides to the inside part, the third base side, and is in safely. It's also made a nice play at first base on that 3-6-1 double play.
So second hit of the night for Santana. It's a double, no challenge by the Red Sox. Torlovello had him look at it, but not going to challenge here. And Yan Gomes coming up here now for the Indians. Gomes with a double in the second, fouled out in the fourth, singled to center in the sixth inning. In there for strike one. Cody Allen up in the pen for the Indians. Kluber has thrown 107 pitches through the first 8 innings tonight, giving up only 3 hits, striking out 9. The 1 pitch and a swing and a miss. Lead on a 94-mile-an-hour fastball is Gomes. Line foul down the right field line, out of play. Well, tomorrow at 2:30, don't miss Red Sox Game Day Live presented by DCU. TC, Jim, and Steve will preview Rick Porcello's start tomorrow against the Indians in the Sox season finale. DCU, Digital Federal Credit Union. What can DCU save you? One down, Santana at second base, and Yan Gomes, the batter. It's been a 2-hit night for the Indians catcher. A double in the second, single to center in the sixth. Now a swing and a miss as Hembree strikes him out for the second out of the 8th inning.
Yeah, good velocity by Hembree there. 94 up and away from Yan Gomes. Gomes, of course, has had 2 hits in the game. Now has a 10-game hitting streak, but no contact that time on the high fastball.
So 2 down, Santana at second base, and it brings up Giovanni Urshela. Fly to right, grounded to short, and struck out swinging. And a swing and a miss. That fastball again that's been up. To the count. Outside, Urshela not chasing, and it is 1-2. Red Sox in the 9th inning will be expecting Rutledge, Bogarts, and Shaw. Trailing 2-0 right now as the Indians bat here in the bottom of the 8th. This is lined and caught at second base. Kind of a snow cone there for Rutledge, but he makes the grab that ends the inning. We head for the 9th. It's 2-0 Indians. pitchers, as it'll be Rick Porcello, who's 9-14 this season, matched up against Danny Salazar, who's 13-10 this year. As Porcello won last time out, Salazar lost. This closer look is brought to you by FWweb. Selection, expertise, solutions. More at FWweb.com. Now it is Cody Allen into the game now for the Cleveland Indians. He'd been warming up the last couple of innings into his 69th game of the year. 2-5 with a 3.07 earned run average. 32 out of 36 in save opportunities on the year. Looking for a save number 33 of the season, and taking over for Corey Kluber, who pitched very well in tonight's game. Just 3 hits in 8 innings, giving him no runs. He ended up walking 2 batters in this game and struck out 9. Did not give up a hit until the 4th inning. So he was very much better this time than the last time we saw him. Josh Rutledge leads it off and takes strike 1 at 95 miles an hour. 0-for-3 tonight is the Red Sox second baseman, striking out in the 1st, 3rd, and then grounding out in the 6th.
That's a little nasty right there. That hard breaking ball, hard curveball that time. Very good velocity on the fastball, good velocity on the curveball.
Fly ball to right field as Sands started back, now comes in to make the catch on the first out of the 9th inning.
Fielding for Boston, shortstop Xander Bogaerts.
So with 1 out, Xander Bogaerts the batter. 0-for-3. Bogaerts is lined out to short, grounded out to first, and flied out to center. A little bit low for ball 1. One for 3 in his career against Cody Allen, but the one part pretty good. A solo home run for Xander Bogaerts. Well, in honor of David Ortiz's 500 home runs, Alltown will double their $500 donation to Boston Children's Hospital. Alltown is New England's premier healthier convenience retailer. 1 out in the 9th inning as Xander Bogaerts 0-for-3 in this game, has a count of 2-0. Fouled off down the right field line, out of play. Red Sox been unable to do anything tonight with Indians pitching. And only 1 base runner reached second base, and that was Mookie Betts on a stolen base back in the 1st inning. Did he go? No, says first base umpire Bob Davidson. So 3-1 now to Xander. Chop towards second base. Ramirez on a high hop gets it there in time to get Bogaerts for the 2nd out of the 9th. Let's take a look at the Toyota play of the game, and the first home run of 2 for the Indians in this ballgame. Carlos Santana back in the 2nd inning with his home run off Craig Breslow, his 19th home run of the year. So 2 down here in the 9th inning is 17,342. Trying to root their Indians on here to a victory tonight in game 2 of the series. Here is Travis Shaw. He is flied out to center, single to right, and struck out looking. Shaw takes strike 1. Just missed inside, a ball and a strike. 1-1 pitch. And a check swing. Did he go? No, says Marvin Hudson. And it's 2-1.
It's that hard breaking ball again. That time down and in. And Shaw did a very good job holding up the barrel of the bat. Once you get started like that, especially on a breaking ball, it's awful tough to stop.
Swing and a miss. Back to the gas, and it's 2-2.
He just threw that ball right by him.
Two pitch. Breaking ball for strike 3. It freezes Shaw and ends the ball game as Allen has a 1-2-3 ninth inning. And the Cleveland Indians able to win this game, shutting out the Red Sox 2-0 behind some very impressive pitching and 2 solo home runs. Carlos Santana and Ryan Rayburn. Step aside, get back with more from Cleveland right after this.